This week, I started learning how to build mobile apps. Coming from Python, and I was surprised how fast JavaScript and React clicked once I understood how they think differently. In this video, I'll show you exactly what I learned in week 1, what I built, and what I'm still confused about. For context, I already knew Python all the way through object-oriented programming as I'm a second-year student, so I wasn't starting from zero. My goal this week wasn't to relearn programming, it was to understand how JavaScript and React do things their own way. I had no idea where to start, so I asked ChatGPT to create a roadmap for me that aligned to my skills to learn most efficiently. As you can see, it put out the complete roadmap here. With that roadmap, I immediately put all concepts into a Trello board to keep track of everything. The first part of the week was all about JavaScript fundamentals. And honestly, a lot of it mapped cleanly from Python once I understood the syntax. For example, like objects in JavaScript are basically Python dictionaries. It's like the same idea, but just different syntax. For me, arrow functions were completely new, so they felt a bit weird at first, but they're just basically more compact functions that you could use. The biggest mental block for me this week was learning array methods. This was a completely new concept to me, so I had to spend extra time to understand it. Instead of looping manually like in Python, JavaScript pushes you to transform data instead. I'm glad that I got this concept to click for me because React was way easier to understand later on, knowing the array methods. Then I moved into async JavaScript, specifically async and await. And this is where my first small project started. I built a small project where I fetched users from an API, simplified the data, filtered it, and also reduced it. So I used the fetch method with async and await to get users, simplify them, filter them, find one user, and also count the results. It was important to use all these concepts because it's not just about fetching data, it's also about handling failure, which matters in real apps. This project is where array methods finally clicked for me because I was able to actually use them in a real implementation. The next project I decided to do was a calculator app, just a simple logic for it. I created functions for every operation and that updated the state, and then I rendered it by printing the value to the console. Then I implemented the history system. So every time I add, subtract, or do any operation, I push a history entry that includes the operation I did, the number I used, and also what the result became. And then when I log history, you can literally see the full timeline of what happened. And this project actually made React easier because React is basically this exact idea, except the UI updates automatically instead of me calling render manually. The second half of this week was where I started React. This is where things are completely new for me, so I knew I had to practice more with each concept. I was able to grasp 3 core concepts this week: components, props, and state. The first thing that helped me was realizing that components are just functions. They don't do anything on their own, they just return what the screen should look like. Conditional rendering completely changed. So this conditional statement says, if this condition is true, show the screen, otherwise show that one. It felt like replacing long if statements with visual choices instead. The next part was mapping lists. It allowed me to practice with array methods more, so that was a good thing. The main part that confused me at first was the key equals ID part, but I started visualizing keys as React's way of tracking items when the list changes. Then I moved on to props. Props were surprisingly easy to me. I didn't spend too much time on this. I just realized that they're just function arguments. Like, given this input, what UI do I return? The next part, which is state, was the biggest mental shift this week. It was a concept that I spent the most time on so far. In normal JavaScript, I just update a variable. But in React, I had to realize that I don't control re-rendering. React does that. In my JavaScript version, I controlled everything: the current value, when it updated, and when it rendered. But in React, I had to let go of that control. And that's where the first week ended, so I haven't gotten to learning useEffect yet. So right now, everything I build is local state only. No side effects and no data fetching inside the components. But hopefully that's coming next. If you're learning JavaScript or React and coming from Python or even just starting off fresh, hopefully this gave you like a realistic view of what 1 week or maybe 2 weeks actually looks like. I'm documenting this entire journey week by week, and mistakes included as well. So make sure to stay tuned for more weekly updates.